All right, ready to dive deep? Today, it's Alfred Lord Tennyson's The Eagle.
Oh, a classic.
It is, but not just some, fluffy nature poem. This thing's just two stanzas, but it packs a punch. Like, how does he do that?
Well, Tennyson, he was a master at squeezing a lot of meaning into a few words. That's what makes it so enduring, I think. Still hits us today, even though it's from the 19th century.
Right. Okay, so before we get lost in the eagle's feathers, let's give folks a little Tennyson 101.
Sounds good.
Born August 6th, 1809, Somersby, Lincolnshire, England,
Hmm.
became this like poetic rock star of the Victorian era, but his life wasn't all roses and sonnets.
No, definitely had his share of darkness. Family struggled financially, plus the death of his close friend, Arthur Hallam.
Yeah.
Really shook him.
Yeah, and that kind of loss seeps into his work, makes you wonder, like how much of an artist's life bleeds into their art. We'll see, I guess. But for this deep dive, our mission is to really unpack the eagle. Not just what it says on the surface, but all those layers of meaning underneath.
Exactly. Symbolism, the techniques, the way people have interpreted it over time.
Mm.
It's all connected.
And hey, maybe we'll even learn a little about ourselves along the way. Because good poetry, like the eagle, it can hold up a mirror, reflect back our own experiences.
Absolutely. All right, so let's have a look. First line, he clasps the crag with crooked hands. Just boom, right out the gate with this powerful image.
Oh yeah, those talons, like you can almost feel the grip, but it's also kind of creepy, isn't it? Crooked.
That word, it's doing some heavy lifting.
Hmm.
Makes you think power, yeah, but not always pretty, right? Could even be a little menacing. Does great power always have that edge to it?
Whoa, okay, already getting deep. And then Tennyson hits us with, close to the sun in lonely lands. Now we're talking isolation. This eagle's way up there, like above it all.
Almost godlike, right?
But man, wouldn't you get lonely on that crag?
Maybe. I think Tennyson's playing with that, using the eagle to talk about ambition, isolation, what it costs to be at the top.
I'm with you. And then the view shifts. The wrinkled sea beneath him crawls. We're seeing the world from up high now.
Notice that word crawls. Everything down there is slow, tiny, compared to this majestic eagle.
He's saying all your worries, all that drama, it's just ripples from up here.
Precisely. And the stanza ends with, he watches from his mountain walls.
Ah.
Could be literal, but I think it's more than that. Those walls, they also feel confining.
Wait, so this mighty eagle, symbol of freedom, he's trapped.
Could be seen that way. Power is tricky. You're at the top, but maybe you're also alone, cut off. Pretty profound for a poem about a bird, huh?
Totally. All right, second stanza. Things get even more intense. We get that wrinkled sea. Again, just emphasizing the difference. Small world, big eagle.
Tennyson wants us to remember that view from above. But then he throws us a curveball.
Oh yeah, here it comes. And like a thunderbolt he falls. Mic drop. This eagle, so still, so powerful, and then bam, straight down. What just happened?
Classic Tennyson. Takes this symbol, all that majesty, and throws it into motion. The simile, like a thunderbolt. That's key too. It's not just falling. It's speed, force, almost violence.
But why? Why would he have the eagle fall? It's almost like a betrayal.
That's the question, right? Does he choose it? Is it aggression? Surrender? Or is it just, gravity? Something he can't control?
It's making me think of, like, when a famous person, someone you admire, they mess up and suddenly they're gone. That fall from grace.
Exactly. Makes you question everything. And maybe it's a reminder, even the most powerful, it doesn't last forever.
Okay, mind officially blown. And we've barely scratched the surface. So many questions. That fall, man, keeps coming back to me.
Yeah.
I guess that's Tennyson's point, right? Make us think about what it means to fall from so high up.
It's a good question. But before we spiral too far down that rabbit hole, remember, this is the Victorian era, right?
Yeah.
Lots of changes happening. Society, tech, even people's beliefs.
Oh yeah, like the Industrial Revolution, people moving to cities, questioning traditions. Kind of chaotic, just like that eagle going down.
Right. So Tennyson's living through all that. Makes sense. He'd use the eagle to explore change, uncertainty, maybe even like fear of things falling apart.
Plus all that personal stuff he was dealing with. His friend dying, money troubles, heavy stuff.
Definitely. And when you think about that, the eagle being alone, it hits different. Not just physically alone, but emotionally.
Yeah.
Like when you're grieving, facing tough times.
Okay, now we're cooking. So historical stuff, personal stuff, and then all those layers in the poem itself. It's a lot to juggle.
That's the thing about the eagle. It works on so many levels. But even with all that complexity, Tennyson still keeps it grounded. those images, they're so strong.
Yeah, the crooked hands, the sea crawling below.
Yeah.
You don't forget that stuff. It's almost like you're there, feeling the wind, smelling the ocean.
And that's deliberate. Tennyson was a master of using language that hits your senses, pulls you into the scene.
But hold on, let's get nerdy for a second. Poetic techniques. We keep saying crooked hands. Gives us that creepy feeling. But how does he do that?
Well, one way is juxtaposition. He puts two opposite ideas together, strength and crookedness. Makes you think, wait, those don't go together? What's he up to?
Ah, clever. So it's not just the words, it's the order too. And wasn't there something about similes?
You got it. When he compares the fall to a thunderbolt, that's a simile. Not just falling, but falling like that. Sudden, powerful, kind of scary even.
And wait, I remember this from school. Alliteration. Repeating sounds.
Exactly. He clasps the crag with crooked hands. All those sea sounds, it's like you can hear the talons gripping the rock.
No way. Sound effects in poetry. He's adding to the image with the sound of the words.
Exactly. Master of sound and rhythm, gives the poem musical feel, adds another layer of meaning.
This is getting wild. So we've got history, Tennyson's life, symbolism, poetic tricks. But the big question remains, what's it all mean?
Ah, the beauty of poetry. No single right answer. The meaning, it's fluid, open to how you see it.
Okay, but there must be some common interpretations, right? Some themes people pick up on.
Sure. A lot of folks see the eagle as power, freedom, even like reaching for something spiritual, being above it all, like we all kind of wish we could be sometimes.
Right, and we talked about that isolation, both from being ambitious and maybe from Tennyson's own struggles. But what about the fall? How does that fit in?
That's where it gets juicy. Some say it's hubris, like flying too close to the sun, literally. Others, it's about power being fragile. Even the mightiest can fall.
Like all those stories about Icarus or the Tower of Babel. We want to reach higher, but there might be consequences.
Exactly. And then there's the idea of the fall being like the cycle of life and death. Even this powerful eagle, nature gets him in the end. Everything ends, even greatness.
Okay, so we've got power, freedom, isolation, life, and death. Are you saying all of those are right?
It's not about right or wrong. It's about being open to the possibilities. That's what the eagle does so well. It holds all these ideas at once.
It's like the poem's a mirror showing us what we bring to it based on our own lives.
That's insightful. And it leads to a question. If this eagle can mean so many things, what does it mean for you? What are your mountain walls, your thunderbolt moments?
Hold on, slow down. You're making me actually think here. I've always loved this poem, but never thought about it personally like that. It's true, that eagle, that fall. It could be anything, depending on who's looking.
That's the power of good poetry. It's not giving you answers, it's making you ask questions, find your own meaning in it.
Okay, officially inspired. I need to go for a walk and ponder all this. But before we wrap up this part, there's one thing bugging me. We talked meaning, symbolism, history, but not much about the poem's structure. Does that even matter?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
How a poem is put together, it's as important as the words themselves. Rhythm, emphasis, even how you feel as you read it, the structure does that.
All right, so how does the eagle's structure, add to its power?
Well, first off, it's short. 2 stanzas, that's it. Makes you slow down, pay attention to every word. It's like concentrated poetry.
Yeah, like a shot of espresso, but for your brain. And each stanza is 3 lines, nice and balanced.
Right. And within those lines, the ideas kind of build on each other. First stanza, we go from how the eagle looks, crooked hands, to where he is, lonely lands, to what he's doing, watching.
Like we're zooming out, getting a wider view each line.
And that last line of the first stanza, watches from his mountain walls. It's like setting the stage. We know something's going to happen, but we're waiting.
Oh, like that calm before the storm feeling. Suspense.
And then, bam, the fall. Second stanza, it all explodes. The poem's structure, it's mirroring the action, surprise, and anticipation all at once.
Whoa, never thought of it that way. The structure is like a secret code, adding another layer of meaning.
That's what makes poetry so rewarding. The more you look, the more you find.
I'm hooked. But I guess that's why we do these deep dives, right? To uncover those secrets, appreciate the craft.
Exactly. And speaking of craft, there's one more element we should talk about before we wrap up.
Ooh, a cliffhanger. What haven't we covered yet? Okay, back for the final stretch of our eagle deep dive. Gotta say, this poem's really gotten under my skin. That eagle up high, then suddenly down. It stuck with me.
It's amazing how much Tennyson squeezes into just those 2 stanzas. History, his own life, the eagle as a symbol, all the poetic techniques. But I think What makes it really special is how it goes beyond all that. It speaks to each of us differently.
Yeah, I've been thinking about what you said before, the poem being like a mirror, reflecting back different things depending on who's looking.
Right. Like if you're someone who's ambitious, driven, you might see the eagle as like this symbol of reaching for your goal.
Climb to the top.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But someone who's been through tough times, a loss, a failure, they might connect more with that fall. How even from up high, things can change in an instant.
Man, that's deep. It's like the poem's alive, changing along with us.
That's what art does, right? It meets you where you are, but also connects you to something bigger, those universal themes that people have always felt.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, looked at the eagle from all sides. But before we wrap this up, one question for you. Someone totally new to poetry, maybe a little intimidated by it. What advice would you give them?
Good question. I'd say come to it with an open mind. Be curious. Don't worry about finding the right answer or understanding every single word. Just let yourself experience it, feel what it brings up.
It's like how we listen to music, right? Sometimes you just vibe with a song, even if you don't get all the lyrics or know music theory.
Exactly. Poetry's the same. It's for your senses, not just your brain. Listen to how it sounds, the rhythm, the images it creates in your head.
And don't be afraid to read it out loud. Sometimes hearing it can, unlock something.
Totally. And if you hit a word you don't know, look it up. Learning new words, that's one of the best things about poetry.
Vocab workout. Love it. So, as we bring our Eagle deep dive to a close, what's the one thing you hope people take away from all this?
I think the main thing is poetry is for everyone. It's not just for, professors or fancy people. It's a way to experience life more deeply, connect with your own feelings and the feelings of others. And the eagle, it's a perfect example. Timeless themes, those powerful images. It shows how poetry can really enrich your life.
Well said. So, if you're listening and haven't read The Eagle in a while or ever, go find it. Read it slowly, let it sink in, and see what it brings up for you. Could be surprising.
And if you're already a Tennyson fan, there's a whole world of his work out there to explore. Each poem, it's like his own little universe.
This has been a journey for sure. I feel like I've learned so much, not just about the eagle, but about poetry itself.
That's what we hope for with these deep dives. Spark that curiosity, get you thinking in new ways, maybe even ignite a passion for learning that'll stick with you.
Love it. So until next time, keep exploring, keep asking those questions, and keep your mind soaring.